Hello. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I can hear you. Am I the only one?
Yep. You're the first one. We're early.
How are you?
Good. I just saw a little dog like poking his head out the window, and I almost took a picture and sent it to you because he was the cutest dog.
Oh,
He was like a
no.
white wolfy looking dog. I was like, hey, I should take a picture and send it to Devin. Now
Ooh,
I kind of regret that I didn't, but like his whole
I
head
want
was just
another
out the
dog.
window and his owners were in the store. So yeah. I'm on my way back from Salt Lake. So our art class went a little long, so I'm just here on the road.
Isn't that how it always goes, though? When you think
Yeah,
time's gonna, that's how my life feels like lately.
yeah, I totally planned for it. I'm like, yeah, this is probably gonna happen this way. Cool. So, yeah.
No. I'm trying to like clean up my room because it looks like a freaking tornado went through it.
I like the term creativity influx. You can see all the projects and everything you've been working on right away.
Yeah, we've definitely been working on it. I had like this really cool experience with my double-sided bowls this weekend. One of my friends was on her cycle. I was like complaining, and I was like, "How comfortable are you having me put something next to your yoni?" So I grabbed it and like put it like up against her, and she's like pulsing on the couch, and she loved it. She said it helped a lot.
I love that.
It's really cool. She's like, "Nothing works." I was like, "Well, I was like, we
Let's
can
try
try
this.
this."
Let me bowl bang your yoni and see what happens.
No, but it was really cool. She's like, I've never had someone do that to me. And I'm like, how many people would you let near your stuff?
How many have you tried?
No, but it was cool.
Well, that's a really cool thing about sound is it can penetrate places where normally we can't have somebody touch, and it can still get in there and like move things.
Well, this is
So
like the perfect size, like when you put it up against. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I think I should put this on you. That's all I
you didn't
know.
know that you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, but it worked perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Well, and even especially with the chalice bowls, I like putting them on the back on the sacrum so that they're hitting that bone of the pelvis, the little triangle in the back, and then it like can cause resonance all the way around the hips, and so you get that whole wrap and all the fascia muscles.
Yeah, I should try that again. But I don't
Yeah.
know. She's like, can I just come over and just lay on your couch and have you do that again? I'm like, I don't care. Like, if you really like it that much. Sure.
I love it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. What
All
else
the
is
bowls.
new and going on?
My sty is still not gone. I'm on
In your
five
eye?
weeks. Yeah, it's on my lower lid. Somebody sent me the body book, and the body book talks a lot about like anger and repressed emotions. And I really had to sit with that. I'm like, no. I was like, that's not what it is. I was like, I honestly think that my eyes just wants a freaking break. So I canceled my eyelash appointment on Tuesday, and I'm just gonna try to give my eye a break and go see the eye doctor. Because I was like, I was like, I understand my emotions. And I'm like, I don't feel like I have this repressed anger that I'm like holding back, struggling with. I'm like, I had a really hard time with that. I was like, no, I was like,
You're
because I
pretty
started
open
going,
about your anger.
yeah. So I'm like sitting
I'm
there, I'm
like, oh,
like,
there's anger, but you know it's there. You're not pretending everything's okay. You're taking because you've been taking steps forward, eliminating a lot of the anger triggers, right?
yeah. So when it was saying repressed, I'm like, I don't think I have anything repressed. And then I like sat there and I started journaling. I was like, I'm just gonna let everything flow. And I'm just like, nothing came out that I was like, oh, it's this. I was like, I'm more just irritated that I am like gone, which is a normal freaking way. So it was
It's
really
your
hard for me to sit there.
right or your left?
It's my left eye.
Oh, so it's interesting because I have one that's in my lower right eye. But it was caused because I was cutting pomegranate branches and I wasn't wearing my glasses or sunglasses. And I turned my head and I got stabbed by a stick on the inside. And I was like, whoa, that was really close to my eyeball. Phew, and then I had a sty and it still has like a hard lump. And I think I actually did stab my eye and it was injured. So it bubbled up to protect it from the foreign object. So I wonder if there's something foreign in your eye that your body
I
protected
think
you from.
it's the girl because I watched her one time drop lashes and spray them with alcohol, and I'm wondering if she's putting dirty lashes on people's eyes. Because I did watch it and I thought nothing of it, and then I sat there. I was like, I think it's from cleanliness.
Could be. You could go to my lash girl. She's amazing.
So I'm gonna give it a break, and yes, I will look for a new lash lady. That
Yeah.
because when I was going through it and it talked about anger, I was like, but I see it as like looking through the illusions. And like sometimes you're like, well, I saw that and I avoided it. And I was like, so I don't think it's anger. Sometimes it's just like a redirection that it's like, okay, this person's not aligned with my energy. And when she does do my lashes, I'm exhausted. Like I build like my whole things, but she exhausts me. So I'm like, there's probably something there that I'm unaware of. Like I understand that she drains me, but it's almost like there might be something else there that I don't even think I really need to know what it is besides just redirecting. Because if I don't have the answer after this long, it doesn't freaking matter. It just means redirect. And I've had to really learn that through sitting with myself. Like, I literally started walking last week without hobbling from my tattoo. But it was like I had to sit with myself and be like, I don't have to know all the answers. I just have to know that I have to redirect my energy in this path. And it doesn't matter what the actual answer is. And when you finally get to that point, you're like, the answer doesn't freaking matter. You just got to move your ass and go the other way. And that's where I'm really at. And I haven't had a lot of time to do like a lot of my crafting stuff. I've been working 30 hours of overtime a pay period. So it's been a lot, but I'm handling it pretty damn good compared to even a year ago. That I'm fully aware like what I need to do. And I think like having my tattoo and having to sit there, there was a lot of times I wasn't even getting time in my spirit room. That I think that tattoo made it where it was so hard to walk to make me just sit with myself and just be like, mellow your butt down. You don't have to do everything. And you really need to stop being a people pleaser because I didn't think I was. And then I went back, I'm like, oh, why did I do those things? So it's been a really fun adventure. I feel like I lost myself for like a month. I feel like I literally like descended and it sucked. It really sucked. So
Yeah,
now
Miss
we're
Hecate.
it really sucked. Like right before my birthday, because my sty came right before Mother's Day. It hit right before my birthday. I went into my year 33 and it just kicked my ass. But I'm good now and I'm ready to play and I'm going to remake my first drum. I'm about to pull that apart and I'm going to redo my hoop and completely black it out and go from there.
Death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Mm. And I just have to say how much I love hearing about your evolution through these experiences. Because, yeah, Devin a year ago would have been, why, and stuck on the why for so long that she wouldn't have paused and dug in and went, oh, move forward. Like, I love seeing this version of your evolution and you more of yourself. It's just so fantastic. We just got done doing the paint class, and Melanie and Erin and I were talking, and actually we were talking about this very thing of the people pleasing. And Melanie was talking about her new house, and like she's like, I'm just in my space, and it's just me in my space. And she's taking like a step away from her practice to just work on her house. And it's not that she's avoiding anything, but she realized that she was hustle, hustle, dive in and do both with such intensity because she was avoiding her relationship, her marriage. And she's like, now I have a chance to just sit with me and my emotions and everything in my life. And I'm enjoying just having those moments of sitting. And so she really sat with it and went through all the angles and was like, yeah, I'm taking a step away for a time. And I need to allow myself the space to be still. So it's interesting that this is coming up with that same stillness. And we were talking about, isn't it interesting that now we're in a space of many of us where we high five and get excited over what we said no to more than what we said yes to. That people pleasing. And like in the last, gosh, month, I've had a lot of things with my family and just different categories and with men that have showed up in the weirdest ways. And, I'm still choosing not to date. So the fact that they're coming up is weird. And I just kind of laugh because every time I say no to something, it's like I high five myself and I'm like, or I'll message someone, hey, guess what I just said no to? Haha, and it's like that people pleasing flipped into I'm only pleasing myself and I'm allowing myself to say, what do I want? And you know what? I could do that, but I don't actually want to. So I'm going to say no. And how much more freeing that feels. And like that self-care that is said through what we say no to and the being still and the being with it and then all the answers that come through as we dig in rather than forcing ourselves to understand everything behind all of the answers or all of the circumstances. I mean, sometimes there is an answer and it's really easy and sometimes it's like I have no idea, but I'm not going to let it change what I do. I'm just going to go forward where I think I need to go.
Mhm. Yeah, I had my whole leg sleeves planned. I had my first $2,000 worth of work scheduled. And during the whole process, I canceled. And it was one of the hardest things, like, because I was gonna basically belladonna my whole leg and do like a Hecate. And the lady's like, you realize this is poison. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you want to think of it as poison, but I'm like, it's a sacred symbol. But then I was like, when does it become the point in our life that it's like, why do I have to do everything so fast? Why do I have to go, 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 go? Like, when do I eventually just get the slowness? And that's been something really hard to sit with until you're forced.
Oh yeah. Well, like when the grandbabies left, I'm like, everything's slow and I have all this extra time now and energy that I can put into things. And I really went, I'm tired. I don't want to hustle. I want to enjoy the slowness. I want to enjoy not trying to squeeze 50 million things in. And even if it means I'm just sitting staring out the window, oh, I'm busy. I'm staring out the window, doing nothing. And finding like, oh, that feels so awkward just to be slow sometimes because we learn to put so much on our plate and then there's pressure and then there's the excitement and the rush and the anxiety that kicks in and that fuels our energy to be able to do things but then we end up depleting all of our reserves and then something hits and then we're overwhelmed and it's just like why are we living this way? This is silly. Let's try it a different way and if it doesn't work we can always pull the hustle back. So I really love that.
Yeah. So we're doing good. We're going to survive.
I will survive.
And we'll
Oh,
paint our cotton candy drum. We're ready for it. I just need to figure it out. That's all I want in life right now is a cotton candy drum, and I don't know how to do it.
to paint cotton candy on a drum or make the
I want it
dye look like cotton candy?
I want it to look like kind of like how the cosmos sometimes has all the like the clouds are all the different colors and stuff. I want it like that, but I want it to try to figure out how I can get the lines in it. So I think I'm gonna have to paint a little bit to get the lines, like the dimensional. But I'm like, I don't even know. I think it's just gonna have to be like boop, 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 and it will come out how it's supposed to come out.
Bippity boppity boop. I almost I almost would dye it first and like by dyeing it, place it in a tray. You can get those hot water heater trays and
Mhm.
then putting it in the tray and then adding the dye or even using ink color, but like laying it flat. And then you can get like the color burst and you'll get the darker spots and the lighter spots that will look more like fluid. And then you can paint over it using a flat stipple brush. And then you kind of work with the paint and you can add like a glazing medium in there and you can really get a lot of texture. And then letting that dry and then just doing a lot of layers.
Hmm.
I do have a paint class coming up.
I am
Bring
planning for
it.
that July something.
Yeah, it's July something. 16th, I want to say 12th.
I
20?
don't know. It's a Sunday.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm like, it's a number, so it's not in my head right now.
Okay. I'll
But
order.
yeah, and it's also at my house, so I have everything.
So maybe I should, yeah, I'll have to order a deer because that's gonna probably take the color the most for me to play with.
Or bleach buffalo. But I feel like deer would match cotton candy more because deer is more lighter. It's like the leaping, um, lightheartedness that cotton candy would represent. So that would be my vote. Like a super light deer. So if you want to message me or put it in the sheet, like a deer for cotton candy drum, so I remember, I'll see which one I have that's the lightest and the thinnest, so it'll pull the color. Because
Thanky,
we could do
thanky.
that. You may not even finish it in the day, but at least you'll have it started. Or even if you're experimenting, I'm there. Whoever's there, is experimenting with you. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be a process. I'm excited.
Yay. Yeah. And I'm playing with, because this is a new thing, obviously, and I'm playing with each time, kind of seeing if it is like a one time thing, you come and you learn the tools and the materials and then you go create, or if I do several consecutive and then you can work on your project and then go home with it unfinished and then come back and work on it deeper and then come back. So, because there's a lot of layers to painting. So, but we go over like the rawhide itself and the materials I use and the options. And then if you know what you want, I can give pieces and feedback. And yeah, like Melanie was like, I hate this. And I'm like, hold on. And I picked it up and I stood on the other side of the room and held it up. Wow, that looks amazing. I'm like, right. You're just too locked in. You have to step away and see that what you are creating is the thing that you wanted. So, yeah. Yeah. But that's a fun play. So that might be a help. Or you can experiment, mess it up, and then come and we'll work on it together, adjusting it.
Okay, I'm down. I'll make it happen whatever day it is.
Yay. Emily, how are you?
Doing okay. I'm doing okay. I enjoyed listening to you guys and your the talk of slowness because I've that's been one thing for me that I've in the past month or so not wanted to be slow. I just have not wanted to be slow and have struggled so much with not being busy and not, you know, and wanting to be busy and having things to do, but then looking at all of those things and going, yeah, but I don't want to do that one. And I don't want to do that one. And I don't
Have
want
you
to do
been
that one.
reading my brain?
Yeah, but I'm
That's literally
just,
my everyday
yeah,
lately.
yeah. And I don't know. I think there's this part of me that just still doesn't always want to be still, and it's easier to go and to be busy. And usually when I'm going and I'm busy, I'm forgetting, right? And so it's a distraction for me a lot of times to just be busy. And so I've been trying, but it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. Being not busy is so uncomfortable,
It's
especially
almost like
when
you
my
feel displaced.
insides, yeah, and my insides are so busy. Like that I feel that even when my body isn't busy, that there's like this busy energy, this busyness that just needs to get out. And so I try my hardest to take the time to be still and to stare out a window and watch my bird feeder and my my hummingbird feeders and just sit and look and walk over to my plants and just stare at my plants and just watch them grow. Like, I don't know. But sometimes I'm just like, this is all just stupid. And then, but then, and something will happen and I'll go, oh, I was just like gone for 10 minutes. I don't know where I was. You know what I mean? And yet I felt like I took a nap, So it's just still all this time just learning my body. I'm 51 years old and I'm still discovering who the hell I am. And that's okay. That's okay.
I feel like this age is when we finally start to discover who we are. We finally
Yeah,
slow enough that we can look at that because we're not chasing this and chasing that and
right.
hustling. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My daughter-in-law came over the other night and she was looking at my plants and she was like, you have a jungle growing. Like you just have so many plants and they're just so big. And I remember you telling me like you couldn't grow plants. And I said, yeah, but that was because I was growing humans. And I don't have any more humans in my house, so I can grow plants now. I have the time to just do the little things for them whenever, I'm not trying to keep other things alive. And since the dog has been gone, it's extra quiet and it's very um just there was that other element of busyness because he was a busy dog and he wanted things and he wanted to play and he wanted to this and that and go here and do this and so he was busy. And so I think part of what I've been feeling the past almost 2 weeks now is just that. I think that lack of that busy, because part of my busy was used in his busy, to satisfy his wants and needs and all the things, and then not having that. So yeah, I guess I just thought of that, but that makes sense to me that I think it's also part of the reason why I'm so uncomfortable not doing is because just abruptly this doing that I needed to do was just gone. One day it was there and the next it wasn't. So, and now it's just my husband and we have had either kids or animals in the house for our whole marriage, I mean, and we've had, I think we got our first animal, what, 24-ish years ago, something like that. We've had a combination of all of them. And now it's just me and him. And I feel like I've been consciously making decisions on what to do with my grief and to process my grief and to talk about the things and to connect with people when I need to connect and to withdraw when I need to withdraw, all the things. And it's a struggle to watch. I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's a struggle, but it's interesting to watch somebody else who doesn't know what to do with their grief when we're in the same situation and the only solution is to find another dog. That's the only solution. Get another dog because that's what this hole is from. So that's what's gonna make it better, right? But um, I don't know. Anyways, so I've just been trying to just do the things. And but I feel like I need to not be so isolated anymore. I've been isolating way too much. And I don't know that it's been on purpose. I don't think it hasn't been a conscious decision to do that, but I feel that um well, you know how you do. You like it's just a cycle. Like sometimes you just pull inward and then you start feeling that, okay, oh, it's coming back. I know that I've done the thing that I need to do in that phase and now it's time to move, right? And just like you were saying, sometimes you don't have all the answers and you just know you got to move. And just to trust that and just to go. And so that's kind of where I'm sitting at the moment. Just on that verge to just take another step and just move forward a little bit more with whatever that looks like.
Even though we have no idea what the end looks like.
You
But we're
know,
all walking forward together.
thank goodness.
Oh, Oh, well, and
Thank
it's
goodness.
interesting in my stillness, I've noticed memories coming forward that like I haven't thought of certain things in so many years. Like feels like lifetimes away. And then all of a sudden these little memories keep popping in. Memories of me as a child and memories even as a teenager before I had children. And like being alone in the memories. And there's not even a trauma or anything with them, just like a reflection of this was my everyday feeling that I had and the things I would do when I was younger. And there's not even a why or details around it or a life altering moment, but I'm like, how fascinating that these memories, these visuals are popping up. Like, remember when you were a kid, you were alone a lot. This is what it felt like. This is the way you'd arrange your pillows on your bed, is how you would arrange your stuffies on your bed as a kid. And oh my goodness, I'm doing the same thing I did as a child. Interesting. Like just noting those things and the layers of things that are flushing forward, not always necessarily for trauma, but more of that completion of coming into yourself and being that wholeness. But then it's also very interesting because for years, like Rick and I have talked about doing the school and the healing arts school and figuring all that out. And then it was like all of the sudden it was like, you need to go and work on that right now today. And I'm like, but I don't know what the end result is or what the purpose of doing it today would be. I'm not going to get very far. It's like a drop in a bucket. And it's like, do it. And so like created a plan and all of these things and brought him into it and worked on it literally all day for nothing and then put it away. And, you know, and then we go to Bali and then it's like, hey, you should do this. And I'm like, I know, I've been talking about it and here's a new plan and da-da-da. And then put it away. And then, hey, Garrett, guess what we're doing? We're going to do this. And the practitioner said this and we're going to da-da-da. And then put it away. And then a week or two ago, his husband, Mike, because he had shared it with him, went, today we're going to do it. Spent an entire weekend writing business plan and strategies and a 35-page report of why this will fail and like poking pessimistic holes and everything like I wanted. And they even had picked a name and the sub names for the sub companies because he's going to set it up in this specific way. So everything's trademarked and protected for everybody. So, and I'm over here like, I don't have time. I'm in the middle of funerals and all of these things. And he said, you know, he just came to me and he said, I don't know why I feel I need to do this, but I have to do this now. And I don't know if it works out. I don't even know if Polly really wants me as a partner, but I'm just doing this, you know? And it's, I think that as we take that step forward, there's these pieces that are pushing us forward. Like, and it's just like labor or anything else. Like as soon as it is time to take action, there's no way to hold it back. It won't stop. If you try and stop it, then that's when the anxiety comes in. That's when we get overwhelmed. Everything's moving really fast inside, but we're doing nothing on the outside until we take that action. And then it moves out and then it goes quiet again. And like almost like Pele and the eruption and then the stillness and the eruption and the stillness. I even joked with them. I was like, well, you guys do realize that we're making a baby, right? You guys are my gay husbands and we're having a baby. I just want to make sure you want this baby because I'm game, but you can't have a baby by yourself. I do need your seeds to procreate and create this. I really do know I need that. And I need the 35-page list of how it will go wrong and all of the things. And I'm like, and that also means sleepless nights. That means we're going to have terrible twos and we're going to have toddlers. We're going to have business teenagers. We're going to outgrow things and need to stretch and adjust. And the hardest part is, of course, naming it because he went to file and they rejected the trademark because there is a small company that's a nonprofit that does have a type of spiritual healing school with the same name. And so now we are making up a name and we all don't. Rick and I are usually in alignment, but Mike and I think very differently. And I'm like, every name you've suggested I can make fun of or sounds clinical. If I can make fun of the name, that's how I name my kids. Can I make fun of the name? And so then I'm making fun of his work. So then I'm like, oh, I got to rein this back and be nice again. But it's coming forward and I can't wait till I can share more because it is absolutely amazing and it's way different and expansive than I had originally even thought, which I'm like, I'm so glad that I didn't put a limitation on it because I wouldn't have come up with this structure and setting it up in this way where like literally everybody wins on all levels and angles from consumer to practitioners to board. Everybody wins. Everybody gets something that is so expansive and there's nothing like it because he even researched other similar schools and why they fail or how it's different and how it's the same or what's successful. And it's like, oh,
oh my gosh, this is huge. This is going to work. I'm going to be a mom. They're like, are you sure you trust this? Because this is like literally your life's work. And if it doesn't go, your life's work is over and you have to start again. And you can't do the same thing. And I'm like, holy fuck. All in. Here we go. Like it's already been conceived. There's only one way, and that's forward. And yep, there's fear. There's fear of jeopardizing the relationship I have with Mike and Rick because they're my family. There's fear of jeopardizing anyone else. Like there's a lot there. And I'm like, but we've already conceived. We're already all in. We already chose this many years ago. It's just lean forward, lean forward. What's the next step? What's the next step? And so he's already got like 15 steps planned. Phase 1 is this, phase 2, phase 3, phase 5, like, and each one just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then like the last phase is we sell it. I'm like, I never even thought of that. They're like, yeah, so you have to eliminate Holly and Rick from it completely. And it becomes its own churning product. And I'm like, but that's exactly what I always wanted, was you guys to be the teachers, and I'm teaching you and I'm helping you teach teachers and just being creative. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it's kind of that same, oh wow, I can't even see the end now because it's too big. It's too expanded that everything's just little fractals way out there. But it's already there. It's already here. Like you already signed up for things that your soul signed up for, and they're already coming in. And we're finally like pausing slow enough to allow it to come in. And I laugh because the website did all kinds of weird things. Devin got to see that. And it, like, if you went to my website, it was all code and then the words. And I'm like, the website has had so many challenges, and we moved it servers and we fixed it, and it's having even more challenges. Nobody else's website's doing this, just mine. And I'm like, you know what? I think the website knows its days are numbered. Like we're already bringing in such new energy that it is, you know, causing the energy that was going to that to start to withdraw as this energy comes in. And side note, like the courses, the materials, all the stuff you have, you will still have, even with the new company. It's just the beauty perspective will now be a leg of the parent companies. So super easy transition, but also really fucking amazing upgrade when it transitions. So yeah. But Mike has said I can't share too much because everything's not trademarked yet. Fucking husbands. Yeah, so super excited for that. You guys will get a formal invitation to be beta practitioners. He's already written the letter. I was like, we need a formal letter? Okay, this is why you're here. Okay, fine. We'll do a formal letter. So yeah, but that's like 3-4 months out. So, which I would like it to be now. What are you gonna say, Devin?
I am so intrigued by Rick, and I don't even understand why, but he kind of scares me at the same time, and I don't know why.
Well, I used to scare you too, so.
Yeah, he did.
Well, Rick will have his own leg as well. So he will teach his own spiritual arts. But it's really cool because the structure, any modality can come in and be part of the structure. So you don't have to be SPHT, you don't have to do a Rick training, but you can. So yeah, but then all of the marketing, the business structure, setting up client appointments is all through the company. So all practitioners focus on is being practitioners, not setting up and running a business. And I even thought of you, Melissa. Like I was like, I have this practitioner that's a therapist, and she takes on 30 to 40 clients a week. And the owner gets to go on these cool vacations while she's doing the actual work. And I'm like, I am not okay with that. So there's no way we can set it up like that. Is it set up like that? Because if so, we have to change it. And they're like, no, we totally understand. I'm like, I don't want practitioners having to hustle and exhaust themselves. And I don't want them to ever feel like somebody else is just benefiting from their hard work either. So we do like all of the hard work of the marketing and the setting up and the clients, but then the compensation is enough that it is enough. And then if you want to expand, you can move into teaching and hosting retreats. You can move into teaching and hosting courses, but it's already there. And so you're focused on those, and you can still have multiple avenues of income through the structure. So super cool. So I went to bat for you
Thank
in our
you.
imagined future.
Love it.
Congratulations on the house.
Thank you.
How did it go?
Good, I think. I mean, there was people, so like I feel good about that.
Yes.
So, and Jackie, who has done like some of the drum circles, she came and looked. So,
Oh, Jackie Clark.
yeah.
Oh, I love her.
So she's not sure if like it's big enough, but anyway, still kind of cool to be like, hey, I know you.
Be really cool. She did buy it.
I know. Yeah.
Like it's already blessed up. You'll love it.
So, but just hold on just a second. I don't know. Just trying to like give it over to the universe and trust it will work out.
Taking a step forward. We don't know how or where, but you're redirecting.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird because, like limbo, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'm kind of in that space of like, okay, I'm ready. So,
You're ready to see the next step.
yeah. So, we'll see how it all unfolds. And then I see the surgeon on the 25th, then we'll see what comes of that as well. So, and I don't know, just like undo my life and all at the same time. But, let it go.
And do my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Forward. Not
Yeah.
going to do suffocation. Just move forward with breathing.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And then I'm excited for what you have going as well. I think Melly, stop. I covered everything so my cat couldn't scratch the furniture, and she's like finding little holes. She was like, I will still scratch it. I don't know. Like, shit hit the fan with the whole Doppel report, and I'm kind of in the crosshairs. And potentially it could mean that, like, I'm not allowed to do CAP anymore. And I think I kind of brought that up, but like more stuff happened. So I don't know. I've kind of decided in terms of that, like, I'm not going to do anything else. Like, if they ask me to testify in court, like, I'm not going to. They can do whatever they want. But, like, I'm kind of done on both sides. Um, like, and whatever needs to happen, I'll let the universe take care of that. I'm done being involved. Um,
Sounds like freedom.
so, and I don't know. I think I'm just work wise. I don't know. I had a session with Jamie Maddox, um, and we were talking about like the surgery, and she was like, "Well, if you can take 4 to 6 weeks off for surgery, like, why don't you take 4 to 6 weeks off and like do something that makes you happy?" I was like, "Wait, I'm allowed to do that?"
What a thought.
Right.
To slow and do whatever I want.
So I don't know. I think I'm. I don't know where I'm shifting to, but it's shifting. And then with my daughter, I'm like trying really hard to be like, she is on her own path. I cannot control it. So fix it, change it. So anyway, I have been seeing lots of birds though, which is interesting. So I saw Roadrunner 2 days in a row, and then I've seen lots of doves, and then I've also been seeing robins. So does anyone know what robins are?
Robins have to do with family.
Oh, interesting.
Top of my head. And I think they're also a type of transformation rebirth.
Hmm.
Oh, Devin's got it right there.
Ouch, don't bite.
Do you want me to read to you?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
story time.
Okay. So, robins are new beginnings, reflection, and sacred space. Call on the robin for guidance when designing a sacred space, initiating a new phase of life, or doing a makeover. A sense of freedom and a new perspective. Awareness from a robin. If a robin comes into your life, reevaluate your parenting skills. Embrace music and the power of sound. It is time for you to explore your psychic gifts. The energy center is throat. The mineral is blue tazanite. Element is air. Magic and mystery. When you first see a robin of spring, make a wish. British postmen used to wear red robin uniforms and were called robin redbreast.
Hmm.
Wow, that doesn't fit at all. I don't think that resonates. You sure you saw the right
Wow,
bird?
weird.
Well, there's even just your sign that you're still being carried by spirit, even though it feels like everything's up in the air.
Right,
It's
yeah.
because it is.
Yep. So anyway, so we'll see where, I don't know, things go. But I do have a drum question.
Go.
So I feel like I I guess like okay, so when I'm tying drums, I feel like all of my drums are kind of pingy. And so like I just don't like I know this is like a hard question to answer, but like I guess I'm trying to figure out how tight is too tight versus too loose, if that makes sense.
Mhm. I've actually had this conversation recently with a few practitioners because they're like, all of my drums are turning out pingy. And it could be if they are soaked too long, they have more stretch. So even if you leave the proper amount of softness, because typically you want, so if this is my hoop, say my hoop is like this thick, I should be able to get all the way down halfway
Mm-hmm.
by touching it, not pushing, just softly pressing about halfway. And that's with rawhide lacing and the rawhide drum. But if your drum is been soaked longer, it's going to shrink a lot more because it's going to be larger because it's expanded to hold the water. So it looks like it's bigger. So one of the things I would start trying is when you put it in the water, only soak it until it's soft and pliable. So don't soak it even 8 hours. Like if it's deer, it only needs like 1 hour, maybe two. But then if you're not going to make it, pull it out and don't let it get over soaked. Because I think that's what was happening with these others is that they were soaking them so long that they were stretching too easy. But then if you have like buffalo and cow where it tends to be thicker, they do
Mm-hmm.
need longer, like the 8 hours. But even those ones, only soaking them until you can bend it. So try soaking less. How long are you soaking them? I guess I should ask that.
I mean, I guess it depends. Like this last one, I mean, that would actually make sense that it was overly soaked. Um, I guess my question is with it being pingy, like, should I try to redo it or just leave
You
it?
can
Because I
retie
feel
it or
kind of
you
like
can stretch it after it's tied. So,
overstretched.
and I think there's a video on it, but I'll double check. I'm redoing, like, we had to reboot the website from a backup. So, all of the drum weaving videos that I've been working on and had uploaded are gone. So, I have to like go through and see what's missing and what's not missing. So, because he's like, I don't know what happened with the site. I'm like, I didn't change anything. He's like, it showed you logged in on this day. And I'm like, I did. does it show any change? He's like, no, that's why it shouldn't be this way. But it was that day that it broke. And so I'm like, I logged in and broke it. And so I'm like, sorry, not sorry. I don't know how I did that. He's like, well, it shouldn't be breakable. And I'm like, there you go. So, but if it's not on there, I will make sure I get it on there. I have a list of ones that are like really important to get up. And that's kind of what I'm focused on aside from my house this week. I've had to delay the drum facilitator training just because I don't have a bathroom. And I'm like, I don't want, and it's still a construction zone and there's tile everywhere in the carport. And I was like, you know what? I'm stressed. Back to the slowness. I was like, I'm feeling anxiety over something that brings me joy. What's going on? And it was like, you can delay. It's okay. So we moved it. So if you guys weren't able to come this weekend or you were planning on it and hadn't said anything, I moved it. It's on the website, but I'll send it out with this so you guys will know. But yeah, so I moved it to an easier time. But in that, I'm taking all that time and energy I was going to spend on that. And then I'm focusing on making sure the drum weaver has all the videos current. So there is a video on stretching it. Basically, you soak it for a really long time, like long enough that it is super squishy, but don't over soak it, right? And then you'll hang it so it's level and then put rocks in or stones or crystals, just make sure they're not sharp. And the pressure will push it down. But soaking it longer doesn't mean you'll get more stretch. So just till it's pliable. And then you don't want to have it hanging outside because our heat is too much. It'll shrink too fast. So that's another option is you can stretch it after it's been tied, or you can retie them.
So should I only re-soak, because like it's still on the frame, so should I only soak like the drum head, not the lace?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you want the lace to stay hard because you don't want it to shrink again and pull the hide. So I usually put it in up and I have the sides soaking and I have the head soaking, but then the handle is still up in the air. So the water level is just below the handle.
Okay.
But if you have any art on it that is not sealed, you probably want to spray some sealer before you do that and then let that fully dry for 24 hours before you soak it.
Okay. It doesn't have any art on it, so it's fine. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. But that might be why, because it was coming up a lot and I was like, why is this happening? It's so weird because we haven't had this many go pingy. And then some of mine did. And I was like, wait a minute. The ones of mine that did, I soaked them way longer than I planned to. And so try it, see if that's it.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Does that help? Did that answer it?
Yeah, no, that does. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also speaking of that, the processing rawhide. So I know I had planned on doing it. This was really hard for me to say no because I had said yes. And that is like my hard, like, I will not say yes. I will be flaky forever instead of saying yes and then having to turn around and say no. And now it's twice that I've done it this month. But when I started mapping out how much time each of the layers take, and I've been processing rawhides, I'm like, okay, a new person processing rawhide is going to take about a week and a half to 2 weeks per hide. And I was going through, okay, how can I do this logistically? And at this point in time, I cannot find an easy way to, in a weekend, teach it because I'd have to have different hides at different times and different stages, like a cooking show. You know, you have this one's baked. This is what it looks like after it's baked. And I tried breaking it down like that. And I'm just like, this is not really feasible. Also, I don't really want to put all the energy and effort into doing this. And I love you and I would do anything, but I'm like, this is so much work to create a hands-on training. So I am not going to be doing a hands-on anytime soon, but I have been filming as I processed rawhide. So I will do a video that says, okay, here's a process, wait 2 or 3 days. Here's a process, wait 2 or 3 days. And so you guys can experiment on your own. Hopefully that feels good for you. I was like, if I were to put all of this effort and energy into teaching this, it would then need to be a higher price point for you guys to invest in to make it worth me dedicating like 3 weeks of work to do it. And I didn't feel like that would be the best place to put your energy or money or me. So I love you all. I apologize that I changed my mind, but I am also allowed to. So, but that is one of the videos that's going up on the Dreamweaver too. So you guys will be able to have access to that and practice with it and play with it. Yeah, because as I was working on all those hides, and I mean, I was happy to do it because they're hides that are from my sister's cows and they just had the funeral. And so I'm like, this is beautiful because then I'm going to come and present a drum from your cows and like you'll use it to heal. So I was going to do it anyways, but then I was like, yeah, I forget how much work this is. And I've already done it a ton of times and it's still a ton of work. So yeah. So I get to say I don't love doing it. And especially when I have someone who will do it for me. And I just pick them up. And I'm like, that I feel like is easier because then my medicine can focus on other things. But it would be nice if you had those sentimental hides that you wanted to turn into drums to have that instruction. I also already filmed me making a drum out of one of the hides that isn't a regular process style. It's more of raw make a drum. So I'm going to say that that would be my recommendation. If you have a sentimental hide you want to create, do the raw make a drum type rather than the full process. So,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Do you know somebody that would process it for you if I don't have time, that would process for me if I pay them?
Um, I can ask her.
Because I have this antelope, but I honestly think I'm not even in a space right now to put my energy in that, but
I
it's
mean,
not.
to give you an idea, the cow that I processed recently um, took me six, about 20 hours for one cow.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm at the place, and the person that wants it processed, they'll pay if somebody will do
That's
it.
where I'm like, I would have to charge enough to make it worth my time, plus all the stank and all of the things. Like my daughter came out, she's like, "Oh my God, what is that smell?" And I'm like, "I know, it's processing time." But I wouldn't process when she lived there. So she's like not used to it, especially when you have lots of them. So I can see, like, again, you can also do a raw, make a drum out of it straight from hide to drum without stretching and processing, but you stretch it on the frame. So, and then
Okay.
you remove the hair after you've tied it.
Okay. Yeah, I can
So
watch
that's
the
like my
video.
cheat way of doing it, which I'm like, but anciently, that's probably the easy way.
Yeah. After summer, I'm like, maybe I'll get to the point because I have a hide in my freezer, but I'm not in a spot that I want to do 20 hours right now, honestly.
I mean, I could even consider doing it for you or even straight to the drum. I'm not saying yes, but I'm like, I
I
would
understand.
consider it because antelope is really cool. And antelope is very similar to deer, and deer does process easier than like the other animals, than like the elk and the cow and the buffalo. Those are beasts. And so I tend to get a lot of beasts, which I love because sometimes you just need to be in the energy of like going into the grit and the death and being with all of that. Like energetically, it feels good. So that's why I still say yes to processing sometimes, but I don't like feeling like I have to. So,
I think I'm
and
gonna
she
watch the
has like
video and kind
the
of see.
machines that do everything. So they have machine pull, so it gets really tight. And so for her, it's a lot less time than it is for me.
Oh, because she's set up for it.
Yeah, she's not doing things by hand. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'll be going up to see her in 2 weeks. So I can ask then
Okay.
or bring it up with me if I ask her ahead of time.
Yeah, I'll
That's a
ask
thought.
my dad kind of where he's at. Because he offered me a spot to do it at his place, so I could always watch the video too and see how much I want to dive into it. Because I told him, I said, we'll kind of see how I feel. It might not be something that I'm willing to do this summer. It might be more fall when life slows down and I can sit at your house and it's not
Yeah,
warm.
because once you start it, you can't stop. So like
Mhm.
Friday, I worked on it and it was 6.5 hours straight. Like my hands still hurt because yeah, it was a lot. But I was like, I can't stop. I have to just keep going. Because in order to stop, then you have to like take it all down and re-soak it. But if it's already been soaked, then you risk it rotting and then you get holes. So like it's just kind of there's so many variables. An antelope would rot fast because it's thin like deer. So, but
Yeah.
also the fur comes off really easy. So that's also a plus. But yeah, watch the videos and then make your decision when you see the whole
But that's
process.
good to know that you can just do the other way too.
Yeah, I felt like that was probably best because I feel like most of you would want to do it like, hey, I have this one or this two, not I'm going to do this every day.
Yeah.
So, and for that, I feel like the video is probably good because it's sentimental reasons. But then it may change. We'll see. But right now, it's like all of my energy and effort needs to be in other places. So, yeah. With that said, with the drum facilitator being postponed, I may be doing a solstice ceremony in St. George. So I was talking with Chantel, and she's like, "Can we do it a finish your bathroom ceremony? Because I'm still coming down." And so, if you guys want, I think I'm open to that because I have the whole mosaic to do, and it's an art piece, and it's tedious, and it's going to take a lot of time. But my contractor and I are going to be, I don't even know what to do with that at this moment. So it's very awkward. So, and there's a lot of like inappropriate things. So yeah, I'm like, I think I might be on my own, which is fine. Or on my own after tomorrow because he's coming by tomorrow. So, but like the mosaic, I couldn't get help with anyways from him because it literally is art. So if that sounds good, or if I'm doing something else, I'll let you guys know just in the group text. But Chantel's like, don't tell my husband it's been postponed. I'm still coming. So I'm like, okay, maybe we just gather and create and work on a cotton candy drum and work on retying a drum. I'm totally okay with that because the time is blocked off. And I feel like more than anything, like that's why I started doing the painting classes, because it's like I just want to gather and have us feel that connection in our creations. Isolated, I'm glad that was mentioned because I actually I was journaling and isolation kept coming up. And it was like, oh, and all of the death that's been going on, I've been holding a lot of space for a lot of people. And then other things in my family have been going on, and I'm holding more space there and holding more space there. And then I noticed how much space I hold all at the same time. And it was like, oh, and that makes me want to isolate. So then I pull back and I isolated a bit. And then I was like, oh, but that makes me feel like I don't have a purpose. Okay, there's a balance. It's like your existence is a gift just by existing. But if you isolate, nobody gets to enjoy that gift. And so even if it is just gathering and being without any intent or focus other than that, that is something that I love and it nourishes me as well, and hopefully whomever else. And so if that's something that you feel called to, perhaps this weekend with the solstice, we can come and create something like that, and just create. So if you're game, I'm game. I'm a little bummed, but I'm also just like, forward is the step. Forward is the step. I needed to block out that time. And I didn't realize it was because I wouldn't have a toilet. Like I have one, I just don't have two. And so, my bathroom and my bedroom, I still have, but the main one. And I'm like, oh, maybe I just needed to actually block out the time to focus on this project. Because once I start it, it's going to be hard just to stop halfway. So yeah, if that sounds fun, let me know. Come create or come help me make my mosaic shower that's crazy ridiculous and over the top, but also wonderful and magical. And that's where my plants are going to be, in the plant bathroom with the uneven walls, and it just keeps getting more wonky. So yeah. But I'm like, but it matches the aesthetics.
Has he finished like the plumbing aspect of it, or?
The pipes.
Okay.
So I have raw pipes in the shower and the handles, and then the toilet has its pipes, but the toilet is not hooked up. So I was sitting with it, and I reached out to Rick. I'm like, I need a minute. This is crazy, because he showed up at my house at 10 o'clock at night. And he's like, I left my girlfriend. I left my job. I'm like, I was on my way to bed, and you scared me. So are you wanting to like come and work on the bathroom right now, or like what? What is the purpose of coming to my house at 9:53, like at night? And he was like, oh, I was hoping to work on it, but yeah, if you're going to bed, maybe you need to go get your rest. And I'm like, thanks, because yeah, it was a night that I was like, I literally was walking to bed. Um, and so he left, and then I got a text after, I think I'm just gonna sleep in my car, Digby's. What? I'm like, oh my gosh, he wanted to stay here. I thought so. I'm so glad I didn't offer. And that was one of those where I'm like, he needs a place to stay. You have a home. You welcome everybody. Nope, just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. But he can work on your house, and then you can be more likely to be done in time. Shut your mouth. So I literally said like nothing. Oh, I'm so tired. Bye. Like, and then I was like, oh, I feel guilt. Not as much guilt as you would feel irritation if somebody were sleeping over your house, and then worried throughout the night, because this is a person who confessed his love for you. So yeah. So, and then he didn't show up the next 3 days. Like, said he was coming and then didn't show up. And said he was coming. Oh, still working on it. Didn't show up. And then, yeah. So then he did show up when I was supposed to be leaving for Salt Lake on Friday, and worked for a bit, and then came up and said, okay, the next step is going to take about 6.5 hours. Do you want me to keep going or come Monday? And I'm like, well, it's up to you, because I was supposed to leave town, but I can stay. If it's going to take you and I'm like, I don't understand how that process takes 6.5 hours. I could do it in one. Time me. And I'm like, no, we will receive. It'll be fine. And then I sat with him. I'm like, no, we're going to change the event day, and I'll let him glue shit down, but then he'll disappear again, and then I'll just finish it. So, but I would like him to reinstall the toilet, because I'd just rather not do that. So, yeah. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have the toilet installed again, and then the next step is doing the mosaic tile. But I have to go buy new paneling that will help with the waterproof, which I didn't know I needed until this weekend. And thank goodness, my dear friend Brent, we talked about it, and I got really mad, and so then he made me more tacos, and I felt better. I'm like, that's it. You better fucking make me more tacos. You realize what you're saying? And so, but now I know a piece that could have been a problem later. And throughout this whole process, it's like, be patient. And then there's a piece that I didn't know and nobody told me, so I had no idea. And now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get this special kind of liner and put it up, and then the mosaic goes on that. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But if you guys wanted to come and help, then it would be fun. And we'd have music, and then we get opinions, and then it would be probably like super chaos crazy of an art design, but then also that much better. Because right now in my brain, there's like 5 ideas, and I don't know how it's all gonna flow in. So, and if at any moment
Are
I'm
you
like,
doing
never
a shower
mind,
pan?
we're gonna take a break, then we take a break and we work on something else and play. So,
Where?
yeah.
Are you doing a tub, or are you trying to do like a shower pan?
I have a tub in, so I'm doing all of the wall around the tub wall. So the whole wall around the tub, and then portions of the main wall. So almost all the walls will be tile. And the floor. And the floor right now, I have this dark wood tile. So it looks like wood, but it's tile cut into like squiggles, like a river. And then I have rock that's tile as a river going through the center. And then it goes behind the toilet, up the wall, and then connects to the tree.
Mm.
And then I have a whole lot of pretty tiles.
I'm geeking out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like it's going to be a very artsy fartsy eclectic design. It's not going to look professional in any way, but I'm like, but it will be so beautiful. And if it's really for the plants, whatever person showers there, that's a guest. So, although I may just shower there all the time now. Yeah. And the walls are uneven. So he ended up cutting a piece of wood and putting a wood shelf in the shower. And so we'll tile around it. And then I'm going to put epoxy over the wood so it's waterproof. And then I have seashells that a client got from her grandmother when she passed away. And she's like, I think Holly can make something out of these. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I need to clean them, and then I will epoxy them to the wall around the tile, and then epoxy over to waterproof them. But I just thought it was really cool because she's like, my grandma loved to travel. And these are shells she dug up, found herself when she traveled, because they're all still like, they have ocean floor on them. So
Cool.
yeah, there's a lot of creativity here. We'll just tape it off into sections and everybody design a section. So,
Be fun.
yeah. But it's also like in that stillness, having something to create that doesn't disconnect, but
Hmm.
connects you deeper. Because then I get to see all of my thoughts. And it's interesting because my thoughts when I worked on my home or did something really hard, like the last cow I processed, it's a huge cow. And I lifted it and then my beams broke and I got nails all through my hands because I didn't notice it was hooked on something. And so it like crumbled and it like toppled over me and it was hilarious, but also really gross because it was gross. It was like, I have like rotting flesh all over me. But in that, I was like, what's really funny is in this space of frustration in the past, I would have some sort of feeling. I would feel a way about it. I'd feel like, why can't I have a partner that's here to help me lift these heavy things and do this and that? And there wasn't any of that. It was like, oh my gosh, that was so funny. Well, this fucking sucks. I feel ragey. Let's put on some ragey music and put it back together and do it again. And so I did. And I put on some like Viking intense music, right? And I'm here with my Vikings hammering the nails and the cow and pulling the hide, and my hands are blistered, but I can't stop because I have to do it in this tiny window. And I'm like, this is why I don't do hides, and then I'm like, it's okay, I love you, cow. we'll bless you back up, but I'm also moving some stuff because this is also the womb, right? The cow. And as I'm doing that and as I'm fixing things on my house, I used to have these bitter thoughts popcorn in and none of them. It was like, I'm so glad I know how to do this. I'm so glad I get to do this. I'm so glad that if this doesn't turn out, I am not going to feel disappointed in myself or in anybody else and their ability to do something that they said they were going to do. And so like there's this new level that's forming. So even in all these projects we're doing, like it's kind of interesting to notice, is this project a distraction or is this one showing me where past pains once were that aren't there or maybe where they still are? Like if I can hate that I have to do this myself, because when I was married I had to do everything myself. So
Yeah.
and in that, like I had to mow the lawn and take care of everything and like, oh, I hate that I have to be so strong and independent. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I get to. So playing with all those shifts.
Today I was in the garage and I need to have some plants upstairs. And so I was making a new shelf thing to kind of balance in the window and kind of come anyways. But I was using these power tools as I'm doing this. And I was thinking to myself, like, there are so many women who are afraid to use power tools. They're so like, oh my gosh, a power tool. I can't do that. And I was thinking to myself, like, it what came to me was like that as women, we have been so conditioned to like think that we don't know how to wield power and how to control it and to to form and create with power. Like it's so often that we've been like, oh, it has to be this softer kind of, whatever. I don't know in what way, but it was very, I was just like, no, like I can do this. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll figure out how to do it. And I loved it. I love just sitting there and I was thinking, man, how many women out there are like, because I've seen like videos, where I'm trying to like figure out how to make something. And a woman's like, oh yeah, and my husband cut this and did that. And I'm like, why did he cut that for you? Do you not know how to cut that? Like, why am I watching your video?
I've had this with men a lot lately where they're like, oh my gosh, you do everything and da-da-da, you're so amazing. And I just look at them and I'm like, if I had a penis, would you still think I was so amazing? It's because
Right.
I'm a woman doing things a man can do that you're like, oh, starstruck. So are you secretly gay? Like, I don't understand why. And in fact, I loaned a power tool to someone and they're like, it took me so long and the battery died. So can you bring over another battery? I'm like, no, I told you, do it before the battery dies. Because it was charged, but like it can't sit for weeks.
Right.
Like I don't have a charger for that one. That's why I loaned it to you because I need to use the other ones. And so I was like, this is like so unattractive right now. Like, but then I had to sit with like, oh, am I thinking just because you're a man, you should know how to do all these things better than me? And it's like, no, I've had the education of hard knocks and I actually have tried building all these things. And so, yeah, that societal conditioning of, and even rawhides and making drums, like most of us are women in our circle, except for the couple men. And it's like, what? You make rawhide? Oh, that's badass. You're so tough. And it's like, I don't see the reference.
Well, and it's interesting. I saw a video recently, and it was just talking about labels. And the woman in the video was basically just saying, like, why do we, as women, call ourselves DUIers, like, versus carpenters? Because, like, really, that's what it is carpentry. And so, like, own the label rather than being like, oh, I can't be that because I'm a woman.
That is, yeah, that's some of the rage that I've been working with. I'm like, a lot of the feminism rage has been coming through of like, this isn't fair. Like, why are we setting up 40 hours a week? Like, are we kidding? And even talking the business stuff, it was like, I don't want a practitioner to feel like they have to see 30 people a week to feel like they can provide for themselves. That's too much.
Yeah.
Like, they can see some, they can teach some, they can create some. That feels more balanced. Like, that's the way I live my life. And I was like, so we need to set it up this way because this is a hell no. If they want to, they can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like, yeah. And it's all of these conditions that we've created and we subscribe to by continuing to call ourselves that. I agree. There's something there. Yeah. Well, my dears, anything else anybody wants to ask or share before we wrap up?
I was looking at the courses and I don't have access to the Weavers,
Okay.
to those ones. If you could check that for me, that would be.
Would you mind sending me a text? Because
Yes,
I'm
I'll
not in a
text
place
you.
where I can write a reminder.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll text you. Thank
If
you.
I try and close this, it'll make everything go weird.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. Excited. Well, and it could be because he did the backup, and so anybody who had access before wouldn't. So, but also half the videos are missing. So working on those.
And maybe it's fixed, but the last time I got on under the Sacred Healing Perspective, like the new workbook, the digital version wasn't there.
Oh. Okay.
So like all the videos were there, but like the digital version of the update wasn't there.
Yeah, I will re-upload that.
Okay.
So
And
like I said, he's like, do you think you made any changes since this date? And I'm like, we have no choice. Get it from the backup and I'll just replace. So yes, if you see anything wonky, just text me and let me know. Don't expect that I know. Because I probably don't.
I get that.
Yeah. I thank you guys for your patience with all of that. Like, that's how it can stay together. And I love knowing that at some point it'll be handled by Mike.
Love that.
So I don't have to worry. Well, or somebody that Mike appoints, which is probably the case. But
Sure.
yeah. All right.
all right. Thank you.
Anything else? Did you have
Thank
anything
you.
else? Love you guys. Okay, we'll talk soon.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
You guys, bye.
See ya. Where do I end it?
I'm looking for the same thing. I don't know.